Hey guys, welcome to Think About It Reviews, where we're talking Hotel Transylvania 2. Now, just to give you a little backstory, I really enjoyed the first Hotel Transylvania. I thought it was a really good time. I thought it was a great kids flick. So I was looking forward to Hotel Transylvania 2. Now, this is directed by Gendy Tartakovsky, I believe. It starred Adam Sandler as Drac, Andy Samberg as Jonathan or Johnny Stein, Selena Gomez as Mavis. We have Kevin James, Frankenstein, Steve Buscemi as the werewolf, David Spade as the Invisible Man, and we have newcomers like Mel Brooks as Dracula's father, Vlad. And and then also we have Ron from Parks and Rec. We have Ron as Nick Offerman as Johnny's father, and Megan Mullally as Linda as Johnny's mother, and Megan was Tammy. I think Tammy number 2, or it might have been Tammy number 1. No, Tammy 2 from Parks and Rec, if you get that. So I gotta say, man, I really enjoyed the sequel. I really did. Now, comparing this one to the first one, I think it's right there along with the first one. I think I enjoyed both of them about the same. Now, what they do in this one, I said in the first one that Adam Sandler's humor and his style of humor, even though it's gotten a little bit mean over the years, I think it works. All the randomness and stuff, I think it works for Hotel Transylvania. And I think his voice is great in it as Drac. I think Selena Gomez works as Mavis. I think everybody's voice acting works in this film. The only thing I miss is CeeLo as the Mummy. He didn't come back for the sequel. So if you don't know about this film, basically Johnny and Mavis they have a son. They have a son who's mostly human, and he's not a monster. He's human. He's a little kid. He's about 5 years old. But Mavis is so protective of their son, who is named Dennis. The son's name's Dennis. So she's so protected of Dennis that it harkens back from the first film when Drac was so protected of Mavis. So I like that little, okay, now it's passing down the torch. Now Mavis knows how Drac feels and how protective she is to her own son, and that he's not a monster. He can't do as some of the other things that the other monster kids could do. And at this point, humans and monsters are they're together. They get along at this point. But Mavis feels like she needs to bring Dennis to the human world and maybe move to where Johnny's parents is. And Drac doesn't like that one bit, so he comes up with a plan to try, let Mavis and Johnny go out and go check out where he lives out first. And behind the scenes, he'll try to get Dennis to get his fangs out, to become a vampire. So that's basically the whole gist of the film. And it's very, there is a couple things that I would say that they should have worked on. But let me talk about the good things about this film. The humor, the subtle humor, the clever humor that is in this film is so clever on some of the things they play around with, the whole ideal of monsters. Like there's one scene where Mavis is getting married to Johnny and they take a picture and you can't see her or her father's reflection because they're vampires. I thought that was so funny. I think there's a lot of funny moments in here. Sometimes the humor is not very funny, but I think kids will get a kick out of it. I think this film is really a very enjoyable watch. Now, I will say though that at one point, you see this in the trailers, that we meet Dracula's dad, Vlad. However, he's not in this film, honestly. He's not really in this film, and the so-called villain in this film is just really there for a plot device, and it just feels a little bit rushed towards the end. That is what my gripe my gripe is, if you're going to introduce these characters, why not introduce them a little bit earlier and just give them a little bit more character? I felt like the ending was just a little bit too rushed. However, I love the way they transition from Mavis and Johnny and they're doing their side story to, of course, Drac and his friends and Dennis in their side story. I like the editing. I like the back and forth. You see one's perspective, you see the other perspective. One's doing one thing, the other one's doing this thing. And I just felt like this is just a very entertaining, very fun movie. And a lot of, the Adam Sandler, you got to give it to him. I mean, him voice acting, I think he's better off with these kind of animated films than he is in his real life films. And he's better off when he's not really writing too much of it and he did write a little bit of the script, but Robert Smigel did as well. So I think Adam Sandler, when he doesn't get the whole, when he doesn't try to do everything, it works for him. And I think this film definitely works just like the first film worked, and it's very entertaining. I gotta say, man, I think her name's Wendy, the little dog. Of course, Werewolf's daughter. I think that, or Wanda. Her name is, it Wanda or Wendy? I think it's, no, Winnie. It's Winnie. Winnie and Dennis have this, it's a great little, I can't wait to see if they ever make a third one on these two, because I was interested in these two characters as well. And I gotta say, Dennis, the design of Dennis, he's so adorable. The little kid is so adorable. And it works for the film because you like all the characters. You definitely like all the characters. I like the design of all the characters. I like, this is Adam Sandler's buddies, but Adam Sandler's buddies actually are really good in this film. Adam Sandberg is still very good as Johnny. Kevin James, he's tolerable as Frankenstein. He's not too bad. I do love Steve Buscemi as the werewolf. I think he's great. The Invisible Man, David Spade. I think David Spade, this is probably one of his best roles as the Invisible Man. I'm sorry. It's one of them. Even though how, not too much of that character we get, I think he's really good in it. So honestly, Hotel Transylvania 2, I think your kids will love it. I think you'll like it. It's for everybody. I think it's just as good as the first one. I think the editing was great. I think, some of the script work could have been touched up a little bit, but I think the voice acting fits all these characters, especially Mavis and Selena Gomez. I think Selena Gomez really has a calling for Mavis. I really like that character as well. I love the soft and subtle stuff, like about, the family stuff and just the emotional impact some of these moments have. It's not too emotional, but it's there. There's a little bit of emotion in there. And the message, basically. The message. I like the message that it's sending as well. So overall, Hotel Transylvania 2, I highly recommend you take your kids to go see it. I mean, it's October. It's almost Halloween. Why not go see a kid family film that deals with monsters and humans? And I think this is really good. I think this is a really great, I think they're smart to put this out in October, and they're smart to know that, hey, it was a pretty good big hit in last year. With the first one, let's make a big hit off this one. And right now they're just doing a great job with it. So release date wise, so great stuff. Really liked the film. I really was entertained by it. And that's it, guys. Until next time, just please subscribe. I have more videos. I have more film reviews. I'll be watching The Martian tonight. And also, like the video if you like it. And comment below. I would love to hear you guys' thoughts if you check this out. And see, I want to know if your kids liked it, because this is a kids movie, and I think kids will really enjoy it. And I want to know if you liked it as well. So, like I always say, guys, grab a seat. I screwed up my own line here. Grab a tick. Grab a seat. Make sure you got some good popcorn to eat. I'll see you at the cinema. Bye, guys.